Can all of you use a calculator? Oh, that doesn't sound right. 0.97? That sounds right. Make sure that you subtract the whole number from 68 and not, distribute your negative sign, in other words. Do we have a number for the second one, for the 6.5? Negative 0.39. I'll leave it there. I'll just go 2 decimal places. The graph's not going to be that. What do we get for the third one? Anybody got the third one yet? Negative 0.53. So I'm going to start graphing these. So I'm going to take the 7 and the 0.97 over 7 up 0.97. And the 6.5 with the negative 0.39. These are my residuals. 6.5 and negative 0.39. 7, negative 0.53. Anybody get the 6.8 one? What did you get? 0.125. I got 0.136. 0.12. Okay, so it's probably a rounding error. So 0.12, 0.13, we're fine. Actually, you told me 0.13, didn't you? So that's to 6.8 and positive 0.13, about right there. What's the last one? Negative 0.23. So that's at 7.75. Right here. There's a scatter plot that is my residual. It's called a residual plot. Okay, with a residual plot, I want to make sure my residuals are splattered. With no discernible pattern. Splattered, so I want to have a random pattern. So I've got one here, one here, one here, one here, one here. What would a discernible pattern look like? Well, let me show you some residuals that are bad, or means that not they're bad residual plots, but they are residual plots where that are not randomly scattered. You might see a residual plot that looks like that, a little curve. You might see a residual plot that looks like that. That's a pattern. You might see a residual plot that has all the dots close to the horizontal axis on one end and far away on the other end, and that one's called a splatter, and I don't think you can see that one very well. So, and we still can't see it very well. Let me redraw it. Okay. A few dots over here. Let me make this one a little bigger. That's a spotter pattern. So these are patterns. They mean that my linear model, no good. So pattern equals linear model, bad. There's no pattern for this one. So no pattern equals linear model, good. Because not every set of data is going to follow a linear model. And our residuals help us decide if that linear model is a good model, or if we should be maybe trying to do a quadratic regression, or an exponential regression, or a logarithmic regression. Okay? Because you know on your calculator there's other regressions. Yes. Yes. So we're going to describe it. We're going to see a scatter plot. We're going to describe the scatter plot. We're going to give the equation, and we're going to give the R value. And we're going to check the residual plot to make sure there's no pattern. Yes, together with the original scatter plot. Those three things will help us make the decision as to whether our model is adequately linear. Okay? Now, of course, your calculator will make a residual plot for you. How many of you ran the linear regression? Raise your hand if you ran the linear regression a few minutes ago. If you didn't, you can't do this. So when I said run the linear regression, please, in your calculator, make sure you have your data in list 1 and list 2, and run your linear regression. Okay? So I see some of you still don't want to do it. And nobody's going to ask me why they're not getting the data if they haven't run the linear regression. So, I will not answer that question. So I've warned you twice now. Run the linear regression. Everybody got it? Okay. So I'm going to hit the Stat key, and I'm going to go into Edit, and I'm going to go into List 3. Now, you hit Second List, or Second Stat, and if you arrow down a little ways, you will find a list called Resid. Okay? Hit Enter. Hit Enter again, and these numbers, 0.98, negative 0.38, those were the numbers you gave me a few minutes ago when you calculated those residual numbers. They're close because we did do some rounding. Okay? So that's your residual list. Yes, sir?
I got an error.
Okay. Did you run the linear regression on your list 1 and list 2?
Yeah.
Are you sure? You got an error when you did which part? Oh, did you arrow all the way up to the top of list 3 and then put it in? That's what gives you the error. Yeah, that's it. If you're at the first space, you can't do that, but you have to go all the way up to the top. Okay, got it? All right. Now, we're going to plot our residuals. And what I used when I plotted them by hand, my horizontal axis